You would need at least 3 weeks for this particular itinerary. And of course, you can cut something out and make it shorter or stay longer and expand it out to a longer period of time. But these are definite highlights of my trip. Here's what I would do. A lot of people wonder, if they should stay in Manila or Cebu, or for how long they should stay in the city. Of course, this is completely subjective. For me, man, I'm more of a nature person. Out of the two cities, my choice is Cebu City for sure. I think it's a better gateway to more of the things that I like to go and check out. I would get to Cebu City. The things that stand out to me are Sirao Garden for sure. I enjoyed that. I went there twice. The Carbon Night Market, I've been there a few times. Always have a good time there as far as, good eats and atmosphere and stuff like that. Try to pick a Friday or Saturday night when things are really, packed in, and that's just part of the experience when there's a lot of people and, they're firing up those barbecues and you're really, close and intimate to all the cooking of fish and different types of meats and scallops, and really, really cool night food market for sure. So those are the two standouts for me. If I were to go for 3 weeks, I wouldn't spend more than 2, maybe 3 nights in Cebu City. That's me. I would then head south in Cebu. I love South Cebu Island. It is jam-packed with tons of waterfalls, some really beautiful stuff, some great reef and snorkeling. And I would go to Moalboal. I would stay in Panagsama. So Moalboal is the main town. Panagsama is the area down by the water. It's very touristy, keep that in mind. I would hit the highlights and I would move on. The highlights for me in this area, I would 100% do the canyoneering. I went with Romel Travel and Tour. Phenomenal. Top 3 things I did in the Philippines, top 2 maybe. The canyoneering is epic. Don't miss that. I stayed at Beyond Island Hotel. Fantastic place. As far as cost, I think it really competes with other places in the area. I think the value is really good. The owners are fantastic. They have a pickleball court right there at the hotel. So if you're into that, tennis, badminton, racquetball, any kind of paddle sport, it is a super fun sport to try. It's easy to play. So it's a fun thing to do, while you're staying there, maybe later in the day after doing some daytime adventures. I would not miss the sardine run, which is right down there at Panagsama. It's a cool, unique experience to swim with thousands of, little sardines that are schooling together. And, there's turtles down there too. Personally, I would not do the tour. It's not far. You can literally just go right down to the water. You can walk down there from Beyond Island, swim out to the reef, or swim out to the edge of the reef, and every day almost you can swim with the sardines. At Beyond Island, they actually have some snorkel stuff that you can use. Otherwise, you can rent it right down by the water for not that much. So I would avoid the tour personally, and if you're comfortable just going out on your own, it's not that far out whatsoever, and you can see where everyone's swimming, so you just know where to go. The other thing I would do in the area is I would chat with the owner of Beyond Island, Max. Great guy, he's from Italy. He's really into snorkeling, and you can talk to him about potential snorkeling outings with him if he has the time, or he can give you a heads up on maybe where to go. There's some other really cool spots that are not right in that tourist circuit. So if you stay at Beyond Island, you have that opportunity of working something out with them. And the other thing I would consider when you're there is they actually rent scooters right at Beyond Island. So for any daily needs of hopping up in a Moalboal into town. But more importantly, South Cebu is filled with amazing waterfalls. And I would leave yourself some time, at least 1 full day. If you have time, extend it to a couple. You could spend a few days just going waterfall chasing, like day trips. About an hour and 15 minutes down to a place called Inimbakan Falls. One of the coolest things I've ever done. Highly worth it. Rent a scooter, cruise down there, spend the day at the falls, and then head home. And there's other falls in the area too. You can look into it. There's plenty. That's the one that I did, and that's something that I want to do when I go back there, is check out more of the waterfalls in South Cebu. All right, so when you're done with that area, you have a few options. You could either head right to the south end of the island, to the ferry, and head over to my next island that I recommend, which is Negros Oriental. Dumaguete is kind of the main city right there that you would make as your hub. Or before you go there, I would consider going to Oslob. You're gonna hear about the whale shark swimming that's right there. Some people are all about it. Other people are you know, they don't think it's a good thing because they do feed the whale sharks. And I can't really speak on that, whether it's the right or wrong thing to do, but I can say this. It's kind of a unique thing to do, and it's inexpensive if you go there and stay at one of the local places and buy your ticket right there. We spent, I think, 500 pesos a person, about 10 bucks. So for 10 bucks, you know, they take you down to the water, you go out, it's only like 30 minutes. You know, you get in the water with them, you get to experience being in the water with these giant, you know, animals, which is really, really cool. Keep in mind, extremely touristy, tons of people. It's not on the top of my list, but what's cool is that it's really cheap. And if you're already in the area, you might want to consider it. So leave that up to you. But if you do go to the area, there's another waterfall there that I highly recommend. It's called Tumalag Falls. Very, very nice waterfalls right there. I think that's a must see if you're in the area. My next recommendation, like I said, is head over to Dumaguete, and that will now be your home base for some really, really cool stuff for a few days. So some day trips from Dumaguete. There's some really cool waterfalls, hot springs, things like that. I did not see them all, but I can definitely speak on what I did, and I highly, highly recommend it. Renting a scooter from Dumaguete and then taking off. The first waterfall that I recommend is Pulang Bato Falls. There's also a Red Rocks hot springs in the area, so you can go to the waterfall and kind of swim there for a little while. There's actually two swimming holes, one main falls and one kind of tiny one, but both are worth checking out. And then on the way back, there's Red Rocks hot springs, which is right there, which is kind of a nice place to go and soak after being in the colder water for the first little bit. The second outing and waterfall is called Malmeg Waterfall. It's a hike in, which is really part of the adventure. It's not too challenging, but there is some river crossings, and there's a couple of spots where you have to kind of climb and use your hands a little bit. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Highly recommend that. Do not miss Malmeg Waterfall. And while you're up in that area, there's a really cool town called Valencia. It's definitely worth stopping in. It's quaint, it's nice. You can go there and grab a bite either on the way or on the way back. I think it's worth checking out for sure. This last waterfall was my favorite of everything that I did in Negros Oriental. It's called Casaroro Falls. It is definitely an adventure. It's a good hike down, a bunch of stairs to get down into this sort of canyon, this jungly, lush canyon along a river. You hike along it. There's a couple of sections where you have to cross the river, and it's definitely a good hike in, but it's not too crazy. It's definitely doable, but I would make this like part of one main day, because I think after the staircase back out, you're gonna be pretty tired, but it takes you to this beautiful waterfall. You can get right in there and swim, and then that hike back out. And then it's just chill time after that, and it makes for an epic adventure. A beautiful, beautiful spot. Do not miss this one. All right, so this is the last place I would recommend checking out, and this is, again, based on what I've experienced. There's a little town called Darwin, just south of Dumaguete, and there's some beaches along there with some really, really surprisingly nice reef. I mean, I just didn't expect it, I guess. Maybe that's why I say surprising, but right off the beach, you can snorkel right out, rent some gear right there. I think the name of the beach is Uzi's Beach. Really beautiful stuff as far as reef goes, variety of fish. And then also, I did not do this, but some friends of mine went out to Apo Island, which is right in that area too, and said that's the best snorkeling that they did in the Philippines. So thought I would mention that. You know, I think this itinerary combines that beach time and the waterfall time to make for quite the amazing time in Negros Oriental. All right, so after that, my next spot on my itinerary would be heading over to Siquijor Island, one of the best places I've been to, not only in the Philippines, but just ever. I really love this island. You can take a ferry straight across from Dumaguete, and it's got a number of things for a small island. It's packed in tight with adventure and beautiful nature. And again, all of these places, I recommend renting a scooter. That is probably the overall highlight of my trip, is just renting a scooter and exploring. It's such a great way to get around when you get to these islands and away from the main city. I feel like it's, for me, I felt safe, and it was just the best way to get around, and you have the freedom and all that. So take the ferry over and you can rent a scooter right there. I think we paid about 300 pesos per day. I stayed at Tagbalayan Lodging House. Highly recommend this place. It's very budget, but the place itself is quite nice. The owner is, and all the staff are fantastic. They'll actually make their own recommendations on, you know, things you can do. And actually what I'm recommending on this video is based on what they recommended to me. So it's a great spot, it's a great location. It's not right on the water, but it's very close. You just have to cross the street and walk down a little bit, like barely, and there's a trail, like this jungle trail that takes you down to the beach. And right when you get there, it's a marine sanctuary. It's called Tubid Beach, and Cocoa Grove Resort is actually right there. So it's a beautiful stretch of beach. There's a small fee if you're going to snorkel in the area. Otherwise, you can walk the beach and hang out. While you're in that area, we actually took advantage of Cocoa Grove Resort as a place to just go hang out. We went out for dinner there. You can grab a pina colada. You can't use the pool and stuff like that, but you can kind of hang out and just enjoy some of the stuff they have as far as seating and, you know, have some food and drinks while you're there. But location for the lodge that I'm recommending is, I think, just perfect. All right, as far as day trips, there's a lot to do on this island. And when you have the scooter, you have the freedom to go and check it out. There's some really great waterfalls and there's some really great caves to check out. So my recommendation is the first waterfall I would say is Lugnason Falls. There's several tiers to this waterfall. Definitely worth exploring. The trail takes you kind of to the main waterfall, but if you hike up from there, it takes you to some little, you know, different tiers. I think there's like 12 different tiers. And if you hire a guide, you can meet someone right at the start, right where you enter this park or area. You can hire a guide. We didn't do it, but we wish we did. We went to the first waterfall that you can hike up to. You have to actually hike along the river a little bit, which made it like so much fun. Takes you to a really cool spot. You kind of need the guide to know where to go from there, but this is a definite place to check out while you're there. The other main waterfall that we got rained out on, but 100% going back to, because I've talked to so many people about it. Not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's Camiguin waterfall, but the spelling's right there. You can check it out. This place looks amazing. Definitely going back for that. So those are the two, I think, top waterfalls on the island, but the caving is fantastic. This is another case where we did one, we weren't able to do the other one, but the one that we did is called Cantabon Cave. Phenomenal experience. You're gonna need a guide for this, and the scooter ride up to this cave is part of the adventure, just trying to find it. It's not too bad, but it's a bit of an adventure to get up there. And then the guides kind of take you through the cave, and it's just amazing. You're hiking along a river. There's a little kind of waterfall at the end. You can drink a lot of the fresh mineral water that flows in there, and it's just one of the highlights of the trip for sure. This island is like a for sure check out when you're there if you like adventure in nature and jungles and coastal stuff with good snorkeling and some beaches. It's just a phenomenal place. All right, from there, I would make my way back to Cebu City, and I'd have a flight booked to Camiguin Island. Check it out. This place is another highlight of my trip for sure. We stayed for 4 nights. We could have stayed longer, but there's some definite highlights when you get there. It's got this huge volcano. It's got some rocky peaks, lush jungle, some really cool islands right off of the main island to check out. So if you go here, you have to check out White Island. 100%, don't miss that. It's just an all sand beach island, like right off the coast. They take a little boat to get you out there, and you can spend a few hours. It's just such a beautiful spot. The watercolor, the view back on the main island of the mountains, it's just fantastic. The other island is Mantigui Island. Again, you're gonna take a boat out there, get some snorkel gear. There's a reef around it. You can walk around this island. It's just absolutely beautiful. White talcum powder sand beaches. You're gonna wanna spend a lot of time just in the water on this one. So it's just a really cool day trip for sure. For me, this kind of stuff never gets old, so that's why I'm recommending it. But there's 2 main waterfalls that you really need to check out when you're on this island. The first one is Tuason Falls. Beautiful, easy access. You know, you're gonna take your scooter from wherever you're staying. We stayed at the Mountain View Cottages, a Canadian owned, really nice guy. This particular place we were really happy with. But yeah, you can rent scooters from there, and they're cheaper than renting them elsewhere. So that's another bonus of staying at that place. But yeah, the ride down to Tuason Falls is absolutely beautiful, right along the water. And then when you get to the falls, you just park right there. It's a short walk in, and you can spend a few hours just, you know, floating. There's a couple of different pools to get in. Amazing spot. The other waterfall is Catabawasan Falls. This is a very tall, impressive waterfall, nestled right in the jungle. It's lush and green, and there's a awesome swimming hole right at the base of the falls. It's cold water for sure, but man, it's just worth getting in. Once you're in for a bit, you're fine. Definitely don't miss this waterfall either. What we did actually after this particular waterfall, because we were a bit chilly after swimming, there's a hot spring on the island. It doesn't get that hot. Apparently it used to get really hot, but it's still nice and warm, and it's just a really cool setting. It's called Ardent Hot Springs. So you could combine that with one of your outings for the waterfall, and it's just a great way to end the day. So Camiguin Island also has this really cool spot called the Sunken Cemetery. It's popular because of the story behind it. There's the huge cross that comes up above the water, and there's some remnants of the cemetery, and you can swim out and see this old cross that's sitting there, and there's some stuff actually on the seafloor. But what blew us away was the reef on the way out there. The reef was phenomenal, just beautiful colors, a variety of fish. And we went during low tide. If you guys can do low tide for that swim, you get so up close and personal with all this reef. It just blew us away. Fantastic. Do not miss this particular outing for sure. And I have to mention this as kind of a bonus. If you're really adventurous, did not do this, did not have the proper attire. Actually, we only had slippers or flip-flops, but you're gonna want some sort of shoes and probably something that covers your legs. But there's a hike up to the top of the volcano. It's called Mount Hibok. Looked awesome, love that kind of stuff, and it's another thing that I'm definitely gonna do when I go back there. I talked to some people that did it, and it's a full day thing through the jungle to get to the top, but it just looks awesome. I love that kind of thing, so thought I would mention it. If you're into hiking, for sure look into it and plan ahead if you're gonna do this hike, just because it's deep into this kind of dense jungle. So you're gonna wanna be prepared for that. Anyways, guys, I'm leaving it at that. That is the itinerary that I would do if I had about 3 weeks or so. It's so packed in with impressive stuff. Of course, there's so much more to do in the Philippines, and you know, people that watch this that have done other things or might feel differently. This is just my opinion. I think if you're into adventure and you like, you know, waterfalls, jungle, snorkeling, beaches, I think it's a good combination of all of that with a little bit of city time, but most of it is sort of out exploring the other parts of the Philippines, more nature and stuff like that. I think you really can do no wrong with this itinerary. I'm gonna make more videos that go into depth of each spot and maybe make some, you know, different itineraries for a longer period or even a shorter period. But these are things that have been on my mind after reading some of the comments, just asking, you know, recommendations on where to go and things like that. So look into these places, you won't be disappointed. Guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned, more to come.